All right, y'all. I actually have done a Royal Rumble preview just before Raw, but I was kind of in a pissed off mood. And not to mention, I was still kind of miffed about the whole Goldberg thing. But honestly, I'm going to talk about the actual championship matches. I don't know. This is before the go home show. This is actually inauguration day. And no, I did not watch it because I was at work. But other than that, I'm going to talk about the actual championship matches as well as the standalone. Well, not there's not really any standalone thing. God, there's not. At least I hope there isn't. There's all championship matches, 2 Raw championship matches, 1 SmackDown championship match, and then we got the cruiserweights. So I'm going to talk about the championship matches first, and then I'm going to go into the Rumble because I actually do have my own personal idea on who's going to be in the Rumble. I might be wrong; they might not show up, but I actually did write the 30 men and woman that actually could be in the Royal Rumble. Now let's get started with the championship matches. Now, before I actually get started with the Universal title, I want to talk about the world title right now. Now, when it comes to John Cena versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship, or the World Championship, what they call it now, I'm okay with John Cena winning. And here's why. John Cena has not been forced down our throats like he used to be. And he actually is a lot more human at this point. He's a lot more aggressive. He's tired of people smarking on him. And I guess that's not really a term. But he's tired of Smark saying, oh, John Cena don't belong here. Oh, he's ready to go. And the thing is, they're starting to develop that storyline to where he's becoming The Rock. He's becoming the one thing that he hated The Rock becoming. I mean, that The Rock was actually becoming around WrestleMania 28, 29 time. So when they actually stuck to that storyline, I'm actually happy because it makes sense. He's becoming The Rock. He's becoming a lot more noticed. He's becoming a lot more notoriety in movies as well as in television. And he's starting to transition out. He's becoming a part-timer. And it's a given that he's going to be retiring sometime either at WrestleMania or sometime a little bit after. But of course he has to get that 16-time championship, that whole title to tie the record of Ric Flair. And that makes sense. And I'm fine with that because he's only going to tie it up. Now, he has a massive amount of respect for Ric Flair. He's not going to do anything to tarnish the record. And in my opinion, he actually makes the belt better. He's worked wonders with the U.S. title. He made the U.S. title actually better than the brand belt, which is something you don't usually see. Not only that, he'll actually be able to have that record and be done with it. Because usually after a record is actually approached or gone over, you know that they're done. That's it. They're not going any further than that. Ric Flair is still a huge part of WWE, so they're not going to do anything to tarnish his reputation. So he's just going to tie it up, and I'm fine with that. So in my opinion, I don't see AJ Styles winning here, but I do see but there is a huge plus. If John Cena takes the belt from AJ Styles, that means that we might actually see AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 33 if Kurt Angle is cleared. Now, this is just an overall theory, a personal love of mine that I wish it would actually happen. I want to see this match happen because Kurt Angle he actually does want to wrestle AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Well, maybe at WrestleMania. That's the one thing he said. That's the one person that he wants to wrestle the most was AJ Styles. They used to wrestle in TNA, which is now Impact Wrestling. I would love to see the match between those two. I really would. So if John Cena takes the belt from AJ Styles, that means that AJ Styles might actually go up against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. So it's a win-win, in my opinion. I just see this. There's no way we could lose. So my vote actually goes to John Cena for the win, and I'm cool with that 100%. Now let's go on to the match to the cruiserweights. Before I get to the women's, I'm going to talk to the cruiserweights. Now, I'm not a big fan of Rick Swann as a character. I don't like his shucking and jiving gimmick. But the guy is an overall amazing performer. Outlandish? No. His hair might be, but he is not by far. And the reason why that Rich Swann actually is champion is because 205 Live at his debut was doing so poorly. He was well over with the crowd with this dancing gimmick that they actually gave it to him because he was well liked. That's not really a good way to go. You want to see how aggressive you are. You want to see how much you would fight for that championship. This is the best way to do it, especially at the Rumble. The problem is that Rick Swann has not really done much with the title. I honestly would prefer it to be on TJP because we actually saw for 10 weeks TJP fight his way up the ladder to get that belt. And it had more worth when he won the won the Cruiserweight Classic to get that title. It had a lot more heft to it. But now since TJP hasn't been champion in a while and they gave it to the man with the plan, don't get me wrong, I love me some Brian Kendrick. But I just didn't want to see him as champion at that point in time. I'm getting off tangent here. I'm going to try to get back on track. I do not see Rich Swann winning because Neville happens to be a beast. He is an amazing heel. He is a well-liked heel. He was well-liked at the British tournament. He's even more well-liked now as a heel. And he's a dominant one. He was dominant even during his babyface days. So honestly, he's practically a better champion, heelish-wise, than Rick Swann could ever be. Sure, Rick Swann can get aggressive. Arr! That's all he did was just yell in people's faces. That's not aggression. That's just being crazy. But in my humble opinion, Neville will make that belt look better being a heel. And he's even a better heel now than I ever thought he would ever be. And he'll make that belt look great. So my vote goes to Neville for the win. And he'll make that belt look great. Not only that, he'll bring a lot more aggression out of Rick Swann if Rick Swann goes for the title. So I'm all for that. I want Neville to win, not have him retain the title. Please don't. He's not doing anything for the belt right now. But let's talk about the women. Yeah. I love me some Charlotte and I love me some Bayley. Two of my most favorite women wrestlers there are. With Charlotte, of course, I have a huge love of Charlotte on NXT because she had the most amazing match between her and Natalya. One of the most top-notch matches for the NXT Women's Championship. It was amazing. For those that haven't seen it, go back and watch on the network if you have the network. It was an amazing match. Bayley was literally the Hulk Hogan of NXT. She made every moment momentous. She was not weak. She was meek in NXT. She did things you didn't think that chick would ever be able to do. And not only that, she was able to defy all odds, but they built her up so well that she wasn't shoved down your throats. You were rooting for her. You wanted to hug her. You wanted to love her. You wanted to see her succeed. That is how good they had her in NXT. When she faced Nia Jax, it took her maybe, twice to beat her. I could be wrong, but every moment was memorable. She cemented her moments also with Sasha Banks with that Iron Woman match. She was a dynamo. Even her match with Asuka, when she lost the first time, it was heartbreaking to see her lose because we rooted for her so much, but she went out like a chief. She just passed out. She didn't tap. She passed out like a boss. I know that makes no sense, but I'm just saying. But other than that, on NXT, they made her so well. They built her up so well. And then you put her on Raw, and she's just a weak little girl that can't speak up, that's always being belittled and demeaned by Stephanie McMahon. She has no backbone. And I don't see why she's here. It doesn't bring anything to the match. And it makes people like, remember NXT? But there's some people that haven't even seen NXT, let alone watched any episode when she was on there. I saw TakeOver Dallas. I've seen every TakeOver she's been on. I think she was on TakeOver. Yeah, she was on TakeOver Dallas when she faced Asuka. Amazing. Amazing. They done it well, but they're not doing her well now. But in this match, you don't care because they're not doing anything for Bayley. It's like, okay, Bayley is well loved in NXT. She'll be great here. Shove her in there. She'll do well. You can't really do it that way. And also, do you really think Charlotte the queen of pay-per-views, and she actually made this clear on the air, which she is, she thinks she's like 12-0. Do you really think that she's actually going to lose at the Rumble? No, hon. She might not even lose at WrestleMania. She's going to surpass her father's record. We all know that WWE are obsessed with surpassing records. She's probably going to surpass her dad's record while John Cena will not. So she's not going to lose here. She's going to keep the title. My vote goes to Charlotte for the win. I hate to say it, but Charlotte for the win. But let's move on to the match that I have been dreading to talk about the most, because in my opinion, this is going to be the turning point of how the Rumble is going to go. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I'm just going to make it clear. I do not see Kevin Owens keeping the belt. I don't. Because they have literally been flip-flopping. Now, I know I'm tongue-tied here. But they have literally been flip-flopping flopping about what they're planning on doing for the Rumble leading on up to WrestleMania. They have been changing their mind constantly, literally shutting down dream match after dream match just to see how to set up Roman. And this is going to be a mistake. But what is going to happen here is that Kevin Owens is not going to take the title. He's going to lose it. And it's all because Chris Jericho took the U.S. title from Roman. And by default, and we've seen this multiple times before, that usually if you're in a pair and one of the pair actually loses their belt, they're going to either be pushed up in another direction or they're going to be pushed back. I don't see Kevin Owens going up from here. I don't. I want to, but I don't. So unfortunately, Roman Reigns is going to be the champion. He's going to be the Universal Champion, and he's going to headline WrestleMania. He's not going to lose his title until WrestleMania. And I automatically know who he's going to lose it to. We all know, y'all. He's going to lose it to Taker. I'm not thrilled about that either. But I will say this. It's not going to headline. And I'm fine with that. But after talking about such a bleak match, let's talk about the Rumble, shall we? Now, I actually got my own personal 30 people that I think is going to be in there. They might not be in there at all. It might not even be in this order. They might not even show up. I could be wrong. But these are the people that I actually did pick and the numbers that they're actually going to be arriving in. So let's get started with number 1. Number 1, Dean Ambrose. Number 2, Zack Ryder. Number 3, Chris Jericho. Number 4, Seth Rollins. Number 5, Baron Corbin. Number 6, Bray Wyatt. Number 7, Randy Orton. Number 8, The Miz. Number 9, Pete Dunne from the United Kingdom Championship Tournament. Number 10, Ty Dillinger. Number 11, Apollo Crews, because that's a number that people forget about a lot. So I put a forgettable number with a forgettable guy. Sorry, he's the most vanilla black guy there is. My bad. But anyway, and he's from my home state. I should get some love, man. He's from Stone Mountain. But I care less. I'm sorry. He's so green and vanilla. Let's put a forgettable number on him, number 11. But anyway, moving on. Number 12, Braun Strowman. Number 13, who is going to be the guy that's going to go over within less than a second or maybe less than a minute, James Ellsworth. Number 14, Sheamus. Number 15, the surprise, Kurt Angle. Because honestly, y'all, it's been a massive rumor that this guy could be in the Rumble, but they're just having to screen him to see whether or not he's healthy to do it. Vince does not want him to do it because if he takes another bump, it could be it. Even though the guy's been performing for a while now in indie circuits, I honestly can actually see him being in the Rumble. Just being in the Rumble. And I really do want to see him versus AJ Styles. Just saying. But anyway, number 16, Kofi Kingston. Number 17, Samoa Joe. Another surprise. And he's going to freaking be a beast. He's going to dominate. But he's not going to win. But anyway, moving on from there. Number 18, Cesaro. Number 19, Tajiri. Another surprise. And I wouldn't mind seeing the Japanese buzzsaw being in the Rumble. It's going to be awesome. Number 20, Jack Gallagher. My crush. I'm sorry. I love me some Jack Gallagher. Oh my goodness, he has amazing thighs. And I love his mustache. Handlebar mustache. Beautiful. And maybe it's just the fact that he's ginger. I guess I got a thing for gingers. I don't know. Or red-haired people. That sounds horrible. But you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to move on from my crush. Next is the only woman on this list. Number 21, Nia Jax. Come on now. We got to have the reputation of having a woman in there. Nia Jax is built like a freaking beast. She can handle a guy. She can slap a guy around or two. She might be eliminated real quick. But hey, it'll be nice to see a woman in there. Kind of representing China. Not exactly. But you know, just the fact that China actually paved the way for women to be in the Rumble. It'll be nice. Since she's not going to be in the Hall of Fame this year. Possibly not, for her to be represented by Nia Jax. It'll be nice. I'm just saying. Move on to number 22 will be Big E. Number 23, Sami Zayn. Number 24, Xavier Woods. 25, Goldberg. Now, let's talk about Goldberg real quick. Now, I've pretty much said in every single video that I ran it on, that I can't go back and think real quick, that Goldberg is all show and no go. Which means that this guy has, he has a stamina. Now, I can't even say he has a stamina of a 300-pound guy. There's 300-pound guys that can go. Let's just say he has the stamina of a small child, which doesn't last long. I mean, shoot, probably like less than a few minutes, and then they're out. All I can say is that before 2 minutes, he's done. Like, if he hits the 2-minute mark, he's out of gas. So I'm gonna say this just to have fun, and maybe it might prove me wrong, or maybe I might prove a point. I want you guys to have a stopwatch out. When Goldberg comes out, I want you to have the stopwatch going. You hit start as soon as he walks out, and you hit stop when he gets eliminated. I want to see how long that man could last. If he lasts longer than 2 minutes, I stand corrected and I retract everything I ever said. If he doesn't, I prove a freaking point. Just saying. So I want you guys to play along with me, because I know I'm doing it. I'm pulling out a stopwatch as soon as he comes out, and I'm going to see how long he goes. I just want to see how long he can go. I'm just saying, I really do want to clock in on there. But other than that, if you guys want to play, cool. But I'm moving on from there. Number 26, TJ Perkins. Number 27, Brock Lesnar. I had to do it in the most worst way possible. But yes, Brock Lesnar is going to be number 27. You know that Brock is going to be the guy to eliminate Goldberg. Come on, they got to tease the main event for WrestleMania 33. So, of course, he's going to eliminate Goldberg. So, he's going to probably be a person behind. And then it's going to be, after Brock Lesnar at 27, it's going to be 28, Finn Balor. Finn Balor will be making his triumphant return. That's my overall theory. I believe he might be at 28. 29, even better, Kenny Omega. I really do believe that Kenny Omega is going to make a debut at the Royal Rumble. He might. I don't know. It's overall love that I want to happen. Like, I really do want this to happen, y'all. I want Kenny Omega to be in the Rumble. So I put Kenny Omega as number 29 as a surprise guy. And we all know who's going to be number 30. The Undertaker. The Undertaker is going to probably be the guy standing tall. He's going to be the guy to beat everybody out. I really do believe that The Undertaker is going to win, and The Undertaker is going to be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33 for the Universal title. There you go. If Roman wins, that means that Roman's going to be facing Taker at 33, and Taker is going to be the guy to take it all. No pun intended. But that's how I see it. But guys, that's my overall thoughts. Those are my people that I think is going to be in the Rumble. What is your list? Leave your list in the comment section below. Tell me who you think is going to win. Tell me how you think the Rumble is going to turn out. I want to hear your thoughts. Naturegirl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.